Okay, yesterday we have just started about what is a programming language and what is a technology. Still the technology part is not completed. Today you will get complete picture about what is technology. Okay, before even proceeding with that, please let me know if my voice is clear and my screen is visible so that I can proceed. Type yes in the chat box. Okay, sure. Okay, let us start. Now I am recording it, right? So that the other guys can get my recording, access to my recordings. Okay, Spring introduction. Still we are discussing about the Spring introduction. We haven't yet started about the Spring introduction. Today we will understand the completely about JDBC application. With this understanding, you can answer interview questions on top of JDBC. At the same time, we will come to know what is a typical technology called, why it is called as technology. Then I will introduce about the framework. This topic is very, very important. So when you talk about technology, it always the developer, when a developer is using a technology, it means that the developer should always focus on two activities. Focus on what? Two activities. One is common activities. Second one is specific activities. So when the developer is choosing a technology and the developer has to focus on these two activities, common activities as well as specific activities. But when the developer is choosing a framework, the developer will focus only on specific activities, because the common activities will be taken care by the framework. Common activities will be taken care by the framework. Now we will have to understand what is a common activity and what is the specific activity. Right? If we understand this too, then understanding the framework will be very easy. Right? Let us discuss about that. Right? So before even like thinking about these activities, let us understand the technology on top of JDBC. Today I'm going to introduce the actual JDBC. Yesterday it was all about the theory. Today I'm going to introduce about the actual JDBC. So we know that JDBC technology. Like when someone is saying JDBC, it come in your mind that JDBC technology. And JDBC is an acronym for three things should come into your mind when you talk about JDBC. It's a technology. It is not installable. It is not an installable software. So JDBC is a technology. It is not an installable software. The third one is it is an acronym for Java database connectivity. So I have just mentioned that whenever you have to use a technology like JDBC, you need to take care of common activities as well as specific activities, right? So what are the common activities and what are the specific activities that are involved in this JDBC connection? If you understand that, then you will understand why it is called as technology. Today we are getting into deep analysis. We are analyzing, we are just deep diving into it. So try to pay some attention here. Very, very important. There are high chances that you will be asked questions on JDBC, even though your resume says that you are good at frameworks. Even though you say that you are good at frameworks like Springboard, there are high chances that the questions will be asked on top of JDBC. So very, very important topic, JDBC. Every Java programmer should know about this JDBC. Even I have faced many questions on JDBC. Okay. So let me help you with the real-time analogy. Forget about the programming language. Let us understand from an example from the real world. Let's say that this is my location. This is my location. My location is what? Chennai. Since I am from Chennai, I am using my location as an example. Chennai. Right? Please focus here. So this is another location. Let us assume this as KGF. KGF is not the movie. KGF is a place. Polar Goldfields. Polar Goldfields. My location Chennai. I am living in Chennai. This is KGF. Polar Goldfields. There are two locations here. Right? So in my location, the native language is Tamil. In the KGF, the native language is Kannada. You all know that, right? So I want to purchase gold. I want to do what? I want to do some business where I can purchase gold directly from KGF. So KGF is popular for gold mining, right? So I have taken a contract and I want to purchase gold with less amount. That is my requirement. You can say gold in the less amount. So KGF is popular for gold and it is popular for gold mining. Since it is popular, I have found a way now to make a contract with a team to purchase gold directly from the KGF instead of visiting showrooms or any jewelry shops. Right? So since Chennai is part of Tamil Nadu, it is going to use what? Tamil language. Since KGF is part of Karnataka, it is going to, the common language is Kannada. Right? So I cannot do the direct communication. I need a translator. Why translator? Translator is going to share my requirements to the dealer, and in return, he is going to answer answer if my requirement is what we call it as getting fulfilled or not, okay or not. So this part is called translator. This part is translator, right? So I have hired a translator for the communication. Then I need to make a connection. Connection in the sense I need to create a path. So that I can purchase gold and I can get it transferred to my location. This is just assume that this is a road. Need a path, right? To do the business, I need a path. This is called as road. I need a road to do business so that I can use any vehicle like lorry or any big transportation modes. I can use this road. I can purchase gold and I can get it back to my place. Right? This is a road. I have done two things. I have specified two locations. I have hired a translator, and now I have constructed a road. Right? So since this place has a lot of goals, I need to hire a vehicle. I need to do what? I need to hire a vehicle. Vehicle in the sense a lorry. Let us assume that I need a lorry. So this is a vehicle. So this vehicle is going to have what? Assume that this is a lorry. So this lorry will be traveling on this road to reach this location. And it will pack all the things and it will be delivering it back to my place. Right? So I am appointing a vehicle where the vehicle travels to the location to the Kolar KGF and it will pack all the gold and it will be delivered to back to my location. Right? So the first of all the gold needs to be packed here. All the gold items will be packed in a baggage. Let's assume that this is a package, or it will be packed inside a box, and this box will be placed inside this vehicle so that at my place I can receive this box. Now let us understand this once again. Two locations are there, Chennai, KGF. I am giving a connection, but before giving the connection, I am appointing a translator. The job of the translator is to ensure that the proper communication is happening between me and the dealer. Right? Because I speak Tamil and the dealer speaks Kannada. Right? Translator has been appointed. My requirement is to purchase a whole lot of poles from KGF. In order to do that, I need to construct a road. Okay, road has been constructed properly. Right? The road has been constructed. With the road construction, I cannot carry the gold by walk and I can get it back by hand, right? So I need to hire a vehicle, a transportation. I'm choosing, a big transportation vehicle. So this transportation vehicle will help me to what? Carry the gold and get it back to my location. It will travel and it will travel forth and back, right? And the gold will be packed inside the box. This box will be placed on top of this vehicle and it will be delivered to my location as per my requirement. Right? So I am just mentioning this as one. Translator is one and the road is two. Second operation, first operation, second operation. Right? And this vehicle is third operation. Vehicle is what? Third operation. And the fourth operation is package. Packing is fourth operation. Right? And the fifth operation is after package, it has to get delivered to my location. This is fifth operation. Right? If I represent the same example, or if we convert the same example with JDBC technology, we convert the same example with JDBC technology. I mean, how I can represent each and every numbers? How it will be represented? The translator that we are talking about, here is going to be what? Driver. Is going to be what? Driver. Driver class. I mean, not the physical driver, not the vehicle driver. It's a driver class that is related to jar files, Java jars. Driver. The road that I am talking about, if I convert this road into the to the JDBC perspective, the road can be replaced with connection object. Connection object. This is what it talks about, connection object. So number one is driver, number two is connection object. Right? Number three, the vehicle that I have hired to carry gold. This is talking about statement object. This talks about what? Statement object. Right? And number four, a package. I'm packing the gold and I am delivering it back to my location. I mean, the dealers are packing the gold and they're delivering it back to my location, right? I placed a request. And I have sent the vehicle, and the vehicle has reached here, and they have the dealers has packed the requirement, my requirement. I might be having 2 tons of, my requirement is 2 tons of gold, right? So they has to, the gold needs to get packed in a container or in a box, right? This part, when you represent this part with JDBC, we call it as result sets. What it is called as result set, right? So far I have discussed what driver connection and statement object. The fourth one is result set, and we have something called fifth, right? The fifth part is called what? Processing the result set. I mean, it has got delivered to me. We call this as processing the result set. Let me write it here. Processing the result set. Right? Let me convert the same diagram into JDBC point of view. Let us convert this same diagram into the JDBC point of view. Even the JDBC, we use 2 languages. Now understand, you will get a clear picture about what is technology. This is one language. What is the first language? Java programming language. This is SQL, Oracle database. Database is also a language, but we don't call it as a language. It uses SQL, structure query language. These two are 2 different languages, right? So when I have developed an application, Java, this is a Java application. So let me write a simple class. I have a simple class A, but I want to make a connection with the database, and I need to talk to the database. This Java application, this is the database. This is the database, a typical database. For our example, let us assume this database as Oracle database. Oracle database, this is Java database. This is a language, this is a programming language. I'm sorry, I said that it is a programming language, and this is a database. Internally, database is also following a programming language, structured query language, SQL. Right? So when I had to connect these 2 databases, first of all, I need to ensure that the driver is added. OJBC driver is added. OJDBC driver is added. Right? What driver does? Driver usually it will convert Java calls. It will convert Java calls to the database call. This is the Java call. It will convert Java calls to database calls. To do that conversion, we need a driver. That driver is called OJDBC driver. So here we are talking about the translator. The translator is nothing but the OJDBC driver. What is that? Oracle driver. Let me keep it as driver to keep it simple. D R I V E R driver. What driver does? It will convert Java calls to SQL calls, and in return the SQL calls will be converted to Java calls, vice versa. Conversion, I mean the Java language will get communicated to Oracle database only with the help of driver. Firstly, a translator is meant to perform the communication between 2 different entities or 2 different languages, I can say, right? But this is a driver itself is not required, but I need to establish the connection also. Driver is all about translation, converting one language to another, and same thing it does in the opposite direction also, converting one language to another. This is not sufficient. Along with the driver, along with this translator, I need what? I need a connection. I need to establish a connection. Isn't it? connection has been established. This is a connection, right? After establishing a connection, now I have a direct connection. After establishing a connection, I need to create a statement object. Then you can ask me, what is the statement object? Statement object is nothing but it will you can write and execute, you can write and send SQL queries through the statement object. Statement object is meant to write and execute SQL queries. You will write SQL query in Java. It will be sent to the database. It will be executed and it will be delivered back to Java programming language. Let me put it in a simple way. Statement object. What you do inside the statement object, you will write some SQL queries here. Right? By using Java, you will write some SQL queries and you will send it to Oracle database. Like from it will go like this actually. Right? And you will execute and it will generate the result. After execution, it will generate what? It will generate result. So results will be generated. Results will be generated. Result means, for example, select star from all is going to generate. Write a simple SQL query. Any SQL query is going to generate some result. It will carry this result. It is going to carry this result, and it will be given. It will be delivered to your Java program. Hope you are able to understand. Statement object is used to write and execute SQL queries. You will write that query by using Java language. Right? After writing the query, the job of the statement object is to do the transportation to Oracle database, right? And here the queries will be executed. After executing the query, what you will get some results, right? While coming back, it will carry the result and it will give it to you. This is called as result. While going, it will go as a statement object. While going, it will just go like a statement object. Queries will be executed. After executing query, results will be generated, isn't it? Results will be placed on top of this statement object that will be delivered to the Java. Making sense? Right? After the result, after this, the results will be what? Results will be processed inside the Java program and the output will be executed. After the execution of the output, this connection will be closed for security reasons. This is what the JDBC driver means. Literally, this is what the JDBC driver does. Now the question is, why the JDBC is called as a technology? If you understand one thing, Java is a separate entity. This separate entity, and database is also a separate entity. You're not you're not downloading or you're not installing anything. You are just adding a driver. You're just adding a translator, or technically I can say that you're just adding a driver. And again you are adding a connection. You are creating a connection. But internally you are adding something so that these two entities can talk to each other, or these two entities can perform some actions to each other. Right? So this is why it is called as technology. They are not directly installable. They are non-installable. Right? They are not installable. For example, if you are using your mobile phone, right? Mobile phone you are using. In the mobile phone, you can download a lot of apps. Downloading is happening and installation is happening. That is not called as technology. But if you use Wi-Fi, or if you use what? If you transfer data using Bluetooth, you use Wi-Fi. You're not making any modification with your mobile. You are just adding some external things using that is called technology. Right? With your mobile phone, you can operate. You can operate it as a TV remote technology. Right? Just adding some external jars, and till here it is a programming language. Java programming language. Right? But if you try to give connection between these two, and if you add only one driver file in between these two entities, it says it is called as technology. As simple as that. Right? Now I think technology is making little sense. Now our question should be, what are these common activities and what are the specific activities that we have to understand. Right? So now let us write some steps in the real time. The question will be like, what are the steps involved while giving the JDBC connection? Very important questions. We are learning Spring, but this knowledge is necessary. Steps to develop JDBC applications. What are the steps that are involved to develop JDBC application? Just by seeing at this diagram, you can say. You can remember this diagram and you can say. Firstly, what you are doing, you are using a driver. Technically, I can say what? Load and register driver. Load and register driver. Interview question. This is one of the interview questions. Second, after loading, what I am doing, I am establishing a connection. See, I am creating a road. I am constructing a road. Right? Technically, I am establishing a connection between my Java program and the Oracle database. Right? So establish connection. Establish connection. Secondly, third one. Third, what I have done, I have hired a vehicle, but in this case, we are not supposed to call it as vehicle. I have created a statement object. So creation of statement object. So statement object, the job of the statement object is to carry SQL queries. It will carry SQL query from your Java application to the Oracle database, any database. Right? After carrying the SQL queries, the results that are getting generated, will be sent back along with that. While coming back, it is going to carry the result. While going, it is going to carry queries. While coming back, it is going to give the results. Right? So creation of the statement object. Fourth, very simple. After creating the statement object, on top of statement object, you will write SQL queries here. It's acting like a vehicle to carry SQL queries. Right? Will travel from year to year. Right? Send and execute SQL queries. Done. Fifth one. Process results from result set. Result set. So this vehicle will be traveling to database, right? It is going to carry some SQL queries. It will travel from year to year. Right? The SQL queries will get executed. After executing the SQL queries, there will be some results, isn't it? Right? So that those results will be transferred back to the Java application. Transferred back to Java application, and these results has to be processed, right? It will be processed by the Java application. That's what I said. Process results from the result set. This is called as result set. This part is called as result set, right? As soon as it gets delivered into the Java application, it has to be processed. Right? After these things are done, connection has to be closed. Connection should not be kept open. It has to be closed for security reasons. Right? I cannot, if you take this example, I cannot reveal the right path to the KGF. For security reasons, the path has to be closed. Likewise, in the database, in the JDBC, the connection has to be closed. Right? So last step is close the connection. As simple as that. Sixth one. Close the connection. See, there are 6 steps involved here. Still, it is not, you are not convinced with this. You are not convinced with this statement. What are these common activities and what are the specific activities? I need to give justification for these two terminologies, right? So I hope you have understood till now. So if anyone is asking you what are the steps to develop JDBC applications, these are the six steps that you should answer. Load and register driver, establish connection, creation of statement objects, send and execute SQL query, and process results from result set and close the connection. Right now we need to filter what are the common activities and what are the specific activities inside these 6 steps. If we filter that, then we can understand the drawbacks. Shall we proceed? Right. So let me take a new space. Let us convert this into programming languages. How these steps can be converted into programming languages. We will run this program tomorrow, but try to understand the language first. Let me take a class called JDBC driver. User defined class. Right. Inside this class, main method should be the public main string array args. A typical Java program. Main method is mandatory inside the main method because main method is entry point of the execution, right? So it is mandatory. So first thing, I need to do what? Look at the steps. Remember the steps. Load and register driver. So load and register driver, I cannot just write like that. This is the class dot for name. In the class dot for name, you can load and register driver. Which driver I need to load and register? Oracle driver. Oracle dot JDBC dot Oracle driver. Don't worry about this language. Okay, so this statement is going to load the driver, load the Oracle driver. Just understand that this statement is going to load the Oracle driver. Right. Secondly, what we have to do? Establish connection. In order to establish connection, we need to use connection object. Connection on equal to driver manager dot get connection. Don't worry about this code. Inside this, you will pass username, password. That's it. To establish connection, you need to ensure that the authentication should be performed, right? Because each and every databases are protected with the username and password. So connection can be established by passing the username and the password in this particular class, this particular method. Establish the connection. Right. Third one is create the statement object. Statement st equal to on dot create statement. This line is going to create statement object. Now understand, statement object has been created. Right. Fourth one is what? Write and execute the SQL queries. Right. For that, st dot execute query. Any simple query, let us write. Select star from employee. And this is going to give a result set object, result set rs, right? Nothing, very simple. Loading the driver, creating the connection, creating the statement object, and after the statement object is created, we need to write and execute the SQL query. For that, this is a statement, and this values will be stored inside the result set. Right? I need to see these values in the console. For that, I am using a while loop. While rs.next. If there are any rows, try to print that. System dot out dot println rs dot next. So rs dot get id, because id will be the first primary thing, right? Yes, I'm assuming that there are two columns. That's why I'm using this column number 1, column number 2. Close connection. Don't worry about this program. Tomorrow I will show how this is going to get executed. Now our duty is to understand what are common specifications, and I mean this one. What are the common activities? What are the specific activities? When you use JDBC technology, you need to follow 6 steps. Okay, these 6 steps looks very easy, no doubt. These 6 steps are looking very easy, because writing 6 lines of code is not a big deal, right? So let me import this. For Java .sql .step, and this is going to throw some exception. I am handling it by using throws keyword. Okay. See, if you are giving n number of connections, for example, you as a developer, you want to connect to the databases. If you want to connect to the database, you need to follow these 6 steps. To any database, you need to follow these 6 steps. For example, if you want to connect to the Oracle database 10 times, if you want to connect, you need to follow all these steps, isn't it? Connection, statement, result set, so on. Right? You want to follow all these steps. If you see here, this is the common logic. First one is a common logic. Second one is also common logic. Don't you think so? For any query that you are going to write, for any result that you are going to accept, this common logic will not change. For all the databases, the common logic are same. I mean, if you are trying to connect to Oracle database for 100 times, this common logic will not get affected, because it is common for your database. This is also common, right? This is variable, right? Closing is also common, right? So you are working on what? You are working on common logic, as well as this is very specific. Variable is what? Specific. Instead of variable, I can say very specific. For each and every query, these things are going to differ, right? The queries will be differing from each and every query, right? So these common logics are called as what? The boilerplate code. So what is boilerplate code? The repetitive code that the programmer, that the developer come across. Is called as boilerplate code. See, the more you avoid this boilerplate code, the more the code is going to perform, and as well as the developers can concentrate only on specific activities. Is making sense? Right? But if you're working with JDBC, you need to take care of common logic, as well as you need to take care of specific logic. Right? It is going to take a lot of time. If you are concentrating on common logic and if you are concentrating on specific logic, it is going to consume a lot of time. It is coming. So what is the way to avoid this common logic? What is the way to avoid this common logic? Right? So now the the framework will come into the picture. Right? I forgot about the Spring framework. If I are trying to introduce any framework, the framework will take care of this common logic. It will release burden on the developer. The developer has to concentrate only on specific logic. That is what it does. This is what framework does. Right? Now I hope that you have understood about what is a technology. Technology is not JDBC technology. It is not installable software. You're not installing anything, you are just adding a driver in between. Just adding a driver and you are just establishing a connection with a simple Java code. Usage of this is, I mean, adding these drivers and establishing a connection is nothing but the JDBC technology. If you want to talk this part standalone, or if you want to talk about this separately, this is a Java application, this is a database. But if you are combining it together with a single driver class, a single driver of, with a single driver class, right? Then the technology is coming into picture. Doing nothing, you're just adding something, some additional add-ons. Right now, I think it is giving some justification because technology is not at all installable. Making sense? Just type yes in the chat box so that we can proceed further. And this question is very, very important for the interview room. Load and register driver, establish connection. Steps to develop JDBC application. This is very, very important. If you know this, you can develop any JDBC application. Outside, the people are making it. There is a lot of hype that understanding JDBC is very difficult. But this is the foundation. If you understand this foundation, then understanding the remaining things will be easy. Okay, just type yes in the chat box if you have understood so far. Want answers from you. Are we good so far? Okay, good. Okay. So you understand about what is technology. Now we will start discussing about what is framework. What are the advantages of getting into framework? It will make more sense now. It will be very, very interesting. If anyone is asking you from the interview point of view, now if they are asking about technologies, what technology do you know? You should not say Spring. You should not say Java. Java is meant for language. Technologies are like JDBCs are technologies. Right? So there is a lot of confusion in the interview room about technologies, and in order to differentiate about technology framework, so we get into a lot of confusion. Right? So let me introduce about the framework now. Okay, before introducing framework, let me show you one more example. 1 minute, will not take much time. You should know this. Where is it? Okay. Okay, no worries. If you want to construct an house, for example, if I want to construct an house, what I will do? I don't construct an house just like that, right? Constructing an house is not a small thing. A lot of process is involved behind, right? In the reason house, I want to construct this house. I cannot simply appoint laborers. I cannot perform the construction. So the lot of stages are involved, right? I need to make a plan. I need to do the budget plan first of all. Budget is involved. I need to ensure the budget. I need to calculate the budget. See the process. Budget is involved, and I need to approach an architect or the engineer for the plan. Planning is involved, right? I need to make sure that the foundation is strong. Foundation is involved. Foundation and things like I need to approach contractors, and I need to also ensure about the electrical equipments and plumbing equipments, electrical things, plumbing things, right? And these are the outside things, electrical things and plumbing things, and approvals. Before that, I need to get approval from the government. Right? I need to purchase raw materials like cement, like stones, things. So many things are involved if I want to construct a house from my side. Right? So many things are like the interior things as well as the outside things. Even I need to purchase a land before even constructing a house. I need to purchase a land. I need to do a documentation. These are the things that are involved when I have to purchase a house. Right? So what are the common things if you talk about? The common things are like foundation is a common thing, right? and the building the wall is a common thing. Cement, I mean outside plaster and cementing is a common thing. The gardening, what are the things that are common? I mean very common to build an house. We can call it as a common things. It is common for all the houses, all the construction. But what are the specific things? The specific things are something like the interior designs, the color inside my house, the furnitures that I'm going to use, right? And the things that I'm going to use inside, things like that. It is very specific to me. So me as a what as an like no, as a constructor, not a constructor, me as a person, I need to ensure all these things. I need to ensure the common aspects as well as I need to ensure what specific accepts. So many things are involved there. A lot of time consumption here, right? A lot of time. But when I approach, when I approach the actual building developers like Brigade and we have Prestige, you just tell your plan, right? They will complete the construction. They will get all the approvals. They will complete the construction, right? They will just ask you about what the specifications like, sir, what would you like to have inside your house? What kind of paint would you would like to have? What are the designs that you would like to have? Right? And where they will also ask you about vastu, where we can place the bedroom, where we can place the bathroom, restrooms, and all. So the specific things will be taken care by what? By the construction departments like Brigade we have, like Prestige we have. Right? This is one of the real-time analogy. Right? So this JDBC technology talks about this part, common aspects as well as specific aspects, but frameworks talks about only specific aspects. So things are getting easy, common things are will be taken care by the contractors itself, right? In the programming language, in the application development, the common things will be taken care by the frameworks, right? You will have to focus only upon the specific things. So now the framework part, let us introduce the framework part. What is a framework? First question. What is a framework? It is an installable software. Don't forget this. It is an installable software, firstly, build on top of one or more Java technologies. First thing. Second thing is, it will generate all the common logics. And the developers has to take care only about the specific logics. About what? Only about the specific logics. Second part. Third point, understand this point. It provides a lot of abstraction. Technologies to simplify application. So what is abstraction? See, abstraction is very simple, hiding the implementation details. For example, I have an API. API means application programming interface. If I want to talk to this API, so I can give two inputs here. I can give one input, I can give two input. I know only one thing. If I use this API, right? This API takes two input and it gives one output. So the inputs are like, let us take 10 and let us take 20. If I give two inputs like this, the output is going to be 30. It is performing some additional operation, we know that. But internally, the internal logic is hidden. You don't see the internal logic. But you know one thing, what if you pass two inputs and you will get an output, the output is going to be the addition of two inputs. Internal logic is hidden. This is called as an abstraction. Right? In Spring framework, in any framework, you will be using lot of technologies, because frameworks are built on top of technologies. But these technologies are going to take some inputs, it is going to give some outputs, but you don't know the internal working of the technology. It is not essential to know that, because for example, if you want to drive a car, right, you should focus only on driving the car, right? Everything will be in control, like the steering, the acceleration, the braking, the clutch, right? You will just drive the car by using all these controls. You won't think about the how the rate of the engine, what is RPM of the engine, right? How the combustion is happening inside the petrol. These things are not necessary, unnecessary things, right? You don't have to do that. What the purpose of the car is, you have the control, you have the steering. If you press the accelerator, the car goes. The basic operations you should know, right? Likewise, in Java, some technologies they provide abstraction, because if you use the technology, you're going to get something, but you don't know how it is happening internally. That is why it is called as, it provides a lot of abstraction technology. It's an advantage for you. You don't want to focus much about the like inside functionalities, I mean inside implementations. If you ever had to use that API, what input I'm passing and what output I'm going to get, that things are necessary. Hope it is making sense. It is a framework, is an installable software built on top of technologies. It will generate all common logics, right? And it will add implementation logic. Examples. What are the examples of framework? And do you think that frameworks are only limited to Java? No. Write it here. Class will end at 10:45, guys. Please show some patience. I need to complete this spring in 50 days. You will gain a lot of knowledge. Trust me. Example of Java frameworks. What are some Java frameworks? Spring is a framework. Spring Boot. Spring Boot is a framework, but you do not have to specifically categorize Spring Boot, because Spring Boot is just like an extension of Spring. Like Spring is called as washing machine, manual washing machine. Spring Boot is called as automatic washing machine. It is just an extension of Spring. Learning Spring is like running Spring Boot itself. Only little changes are required. That's it. Right? And Hibernate. These are Java frameworks. These are what? Java framework. But frameworks are not only mean for Java. You take, for example, Python. Talk about Python. Python has some frameworks like Django, Flask. It has some technologies, right? And if you talk about the front end thing, it is JavaScript. JavaScript is an extension of HTML. I mean, it is just like the HTML where you can develop the front end applications, right? To talk about frameworks, Angular is a framework. AngularJS, React.js, Angular and React.js. What is spelling? React.js. Are this framework built on top of what? JavaScript. And if you talk about, we have something like big data. Hadoop is a framework. For each and every language, there is a framework. Right? .NET, very popular framework in the .NET. ASPs, not ASPs. That's it. I know these are the common frameworks that I have come across. If you want, you can find more in the internet. So this is what the basic idea about framework. Spring framework is specific to Java. Angular is specific to JavaScript. Hadoop is specific to big data, and Django is specific to Python. These are the common framework that one can come across in the market. Right? Hope this is making some sense. You can say, please be informed that while using frameworks, programmer needs to take care only on the specific logics, and the common logics will be handled by the framework. Let us take this JDBC example. In order to achieve, in order to achieve this with the JDBC example, in Spring we have a module called Spring JDBC. Spring JDBC. It will write, it has all the common logics in the form of JDBC template. JDBC template class. Just use this class, you will get all the common logics, and you will have to write only the specific logic. We will write only about the specific logics. So common logics will be given in the form of JDBC templates in the Spring framework. Right? I have set the time only for 1 hour. I need to change that. So now I am going to give an high level diagram. From this you will understand. See, I am the developer. So, this is any developer. So developer always works on a what? Works on a project, right? This is a project. Right? So projects are built on top of framework. Frameworks are built on top of many technologies. Technologies are built on top of programming languages. As simple as that. Keep this developer. Developer is on top of project because he is handling the project. Java projects are built on top of frameworks. So in this case, I can take, let us take framework. Can be Spring or anything. Frameworks are built on top of JDBC technologies, I can say. Why? Let me use only technologies. Technology 1, technology 2, technology 3. These are built on top of programming languages. Right? So right? If anyone is asking you what are the frameworks, you can simply say that with respect to this diagram. Frameworks are installable software that are built on top of technologies like JDBC, Strats. You can say, you can whatever you feel, you can say. And technologies are built on top of programming languages. Right? We could specially talk about the Spring and Spring Boot. This is how the hierarchy is going to look like. Spring and Spring Boot hierarchy. This is how it is going to look like. Project, Spring Boot, Spring, Technology 1, Technology 2, Technology 3, Programming languages. I can simply say Spring Boot is built on top of Spring Framework. Spring Framework is built on top of, the project. Project. Project, Spring Boot, Spring, Technology 1, Technology 2, Technology 3, Java. So Java is at the bottom. On top of Java, we have technologies. Technologies are built on top of Java, and the Spring Framework is built on top of these technologies. Spring Boot is built on top of Spring, and Project is built on top of Spring Boot. So here the developer. This is developer. Making sense, right? So by seeing this diagram, now you can able to differentiate what is Spring Boot, what is technology. And again, this framework is not completed. Today we have just seen the introduction, but technology is completed. I think you are able to understand what is the actual meaning of the technology today. Yesterday there was confusion. I think today it is little crystal clear. Right? We'll continue tomorrow. Let me stop recording.